Hey everyone, and welcome to the third pedal, and we're back in the poorly lit garage because my parts have showed up for the Sunbird. This is the little guy that I needed to eliminate that terrible toe in, because the original ones, believe it or not, are rusty on a car from 1992. Basically, it's just this little guy here. He screws into the inner tie rod, and the outer tie rod kind of screws onto it. So that's what we needed. So that's great. We're also going to, we are going to lower the ride height for the rear. The front, decent. I mean, like I said in the last video, I won't really know what height I want to leave this car at once I get the new wheels. Which I already know which ones I want to get, so I'm saving up for those. I mean, and there's also some rust repair I want to take care of. We'll lower it, finish lowering it first, of course, because priorities. But yeah, we do need to come down like an inch or two in the rear to match the front. Little update, it's kind of gutted. These are the rear panels, which actually came off really nice because there's no clips to break. It's just a bunch of Phillips screws that hold those panels in place, and it's the speaker connector and the interior light connector, and that's out. The rear seats came out pretty easy. We did have to cut that seatbelt over there, reason being that we cut it. Well, there's two. There's no way I'm getting the bolt because it's very rusty. I mean, it's in that. There's a little hole down there. You can kind of sneak in there. I got this one out, but that one, no. But it's not a big deal because there's going to be a roll bar going back here because safety is important. And really, until I get the cage in, I would like to put the panels back in once we get the cage in. So yeah, that's the plan with that. So let's go ahead and get started getting that front toe corrected. Okay, so a little update. It is nighttime and we, have terrible lighting. Luckily I got that awesome light. Anyways, great news. The toe is like close enough to the point where I think we can drive it. Right now I'm adjusting the ride height. I'm about an inch. I was an inch lower in the front than the rear, so I'm gonna try and correct that, get that close. Yeah, I mean, might be able to drive this thing finally. Obviously the toe's not gonna be perfect until we get it on an alignment machine. So, I mean, it's really just get it to the point where I can drive it to get it aligned. So right now, adjusting the rear coilovers, getting the ride height set on those. So that's basically just trial and error. And hopefully tomorrow, when it is not really late, I can take this thing for a rip and see if it drives good without squealing tires through the neighborhood. Trying to make turns, that is. So yeah, I guess I'll begin this video tomorrow once I finish dialing these in and see what happens. All right, so luckily it's a sunny day because the top doesn't hold in water. But yeah, there it is, and the wheels are not horrifically off. I mean, they're still a little bit off, but I mean, it's at the point of where basically can't do, well, I won't get it right without the alignment machine, so it's actually drivable now. The tires are definitely a little scary, lots of cracking on those, so I don't really want to drive it. There's a ladybug. Get off there, buddy. I don't want you to get hurt. So I did lower the back end last night a little bit. It's actually sitting fine now. These cars have the natural rake where they're lower in the front than the rear, so I had to keep that look. I didn't want it to look like it was sagging at all, but yeah, it looks pretty good, I think. It's about the height that I really wanted at. Of course, like I said, once the new wheels are in, I might need to raise it or go lower. Probably won't have to raise it. Little look at the gutted trunk, ready for action. Well, that's not the trunk, but that's where the roll bar is going to go. I did take it for a quick spin, and it feels really good. The sidewalls do create a little bit of bouncing because, I mean, there's 70 sidewalls, and the tires are like 11 years old, so it's not like I really pushed it. But it did feel really good, besides it needing an alignment now. I did add a little bit of initial D to the car. Don't spill a drop. There's Bunta. But, I mean, it's usable. And one thing I did take it around the neighborhood, brought it back. I did stiffen up the front slightly. Wonder if I'll be able to do this with one hand. Probably. I'll give you guys a look at the sky, because it is a beautiful day. Alright. Yeah, so there it is. Feels really good driving this car. So I did adjust the dampening a little bit on the front, make it a little stiffer. The rears feel good. Obviously, won't really know until I get rid of those terrible tires, because I mean the car kind of bounces on the sidewalls. The coilovers themselves feel pretty good. Obviously, have to dial them in still. But yeah, other than that, the car is done. Hopefully I'll be able to get some POV footage of this car once we take care of the alignment, get a roll bar in it, get better seats, get seat belts that are actually safe, because safety in the 90s was not a thing. I mean, seat belts attached to the door, not really a good idea, because if you crash, the door kind of does move. But could be worse. At least it has seat belts. But yeah, it's gonna get a harness, racing seats. The wheels are probably next though. Spilling some of the beans there, what we're gonna do to it. Take care of the rust later. Not too much later. We're gonna try and get that done as soon as possible. Car's garage kept, so it's not too big of a deal. But yeah, the Sunbird is actually getting somewhere now. So until I have a proper mic set up, because I don't want you guys to hear the terrible GoPro audio, once I have a nice mic set up, we could get some good driving videos of this car. So that's really exciting. But until then, I guess this will conclude the video. So thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.